Hey guys, it's Michelle here from Nom Nom Paleo and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're coming on, just like we do on every Wednesday, to show you how to cook something live from my kitchen. And today we are making, something that is done in that oven. We are making the latest recipe on my blog, nomnompaleo.com, and our iOS app. It's eggs in Purgatory, or uova in Purgatorio. It's a recipe that was originally in our first cookbook, Nom Nom Paleo Food for Humans, and it is a fan favorite, so I was like, I'll just put it up on the blog so other people can make it as well, because it's super fast, super tasty. It seems like it would be a breakfast item, but you can eat it for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, which is what we're gonna do today. We're gonna have dinner. And all it is eggs poached in a spicy tomato sauce. But I actually added meat or sausage and mushrooms to it because I think it tastes better. And so I'm going to show you guys how to make it. And as always, this is Ollie, my younger son. He kind of helps out in front of the camera. Owen, my older son, handles the camera, and he also reads questions out loud to me that you guys might have while we're cooking. And then Angelina is our operations manager behind the scenes, who will be typing answers to your questions. So first things first, you should preheat your oven or toaster oven to 400 degrees with the rack in the upper middle position. I actually have some in our toaster oven that I will have ready to show you. But this is now, we have to make the spicy tomato sauce. Are there any questions so far?
No questions yet.
All right, so I'm just heating up a skillet on like medium. And then once it's hot, you can add some olive oil, you can add ghee, you can add avocado oil, whatever your preferred cooking pattern choice is. Because this is like an Italian dish, olive oil is just fine. So you want to plop this in carefully so you don't, that is half a cup of diced onions. Okay, you can stir it around a little bit. And you just, you're gonna saute it until it is softened. So, a few minutes, 3 to 5 minutes.
Smells good.
Well, I think it's because the olive oil smells good. And the onions smell good. And people are like, can you add garlic? Yes, you can totally add garlic. You can totally make it as complicated or not complicated as you want. You don't even have to put onions in it. You can just use like jarred marinara sauce and some meat. You don't even have to use meat. It can just be a spicy tomato sauce that you can add eggs to. You can add more vegetables. I mean, really, this is just kind of a simple template for you on how to make this. You are, look, it's on the ground. You gotta, go pick it up and put it in the garbage. Okay, so when you are sauteing stuff, Ollie, bring it down from the sides, because the sides are not as hot as the middle, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, but you're right. It does hop around. So it is. It's not you. It's the pan.
Yeah.
No,
it's
but
the
you
pan.
All right. So these are kind of softened a little bit. Okay, we're gonna add to this. This is a quarter pound of just garden variety brown button mushrooms, also called cremini mushrooms or baby bellas, but they're just brown mushrooms. You can use white mushrooms or fancy mushrooms, whatever you want. Just cut them up small. Okay, you want to stir that around a little bit? Yes?
So somebody asked what the best olive oil is.
Well, I think that's hard to say. I think there's lots of fraud in the olive oil market, which is what we learned when we went to Italy. But I think you just have to find a local one or one from a dealer that you trust. And it should be all olive oil. It should be freshly bottled. Because olive oil actually doesn't last that long. What are some brands I like? Casandrino's is a great one. This one I just got, it's called Cobram Estate. I think it's pretty good. I think The Big Primal Kitchen now has an olive oil on the market, so there's lots of olive oils, but you do need to be careful, and I think you just have to do your research on the best olive oil. All right, so I'm gonna add a little seasoning at this point, and you can add salt, but I like to use magic mushroom powder because, especially in something like this, where I'm kind of using like store-bought stuff, and I'm trying to get dinner on the table quickly, I just want to oomph up all the flavor, and you know, it's like a shortcut to deliciousness. Magic mushroom powder is a recipe on the blog, and it's also a recipe in our red book. So if you get the red book, you'll get this recipe and magic mushroom powder, but it's also on the blog. But you can also buy these at Whole Food stores nationwide, or you can make it. All right, so you want to cook this until, good job, Ollie, until the mushrooms, like the liquid that comes out while it's cooking, I know, I did it too, evaporates. So there's some mushrooms that are sometimes really they have a lot of moisture, and once you cook it, it releases a lot of moisture, but you want to go past that point until all of that liquid is evaporated.
So somebody asked, how do different kinds of mushroom varieties differ in taste?
Mushrooms all taste different. They're all, it depends. I think like white mushrooms and button mushrooms are just kind of your standard supermarket ones, and I still think they taste good. Shiitake is normally used in kind of Asian dishes, like Chinese and Japanese dishes. I do prefer dried shiitake mushrooms to fresh shiitake mushrooms because, number one, you can just keep them in your pantry forever. And once the shiitake mushrooms are dried and you rehydrate them, the flavor is actually really concentrated. And they actually, have studied and said that there's more umami in dried shiitake mushrooms than fresh. And I think the texture is better. Okay. But there are lots of different mushrooms. You should just find the one you like. I really love king crumpet mushrooms, just like you do, Owen. They're just big and meaty and really tasty. All right, so to this, we're gonna add a pound of your favorite sausage. If you're doing a Whole30, you gotta make sure that the ingredients are compliant here. I want you just to break it up. Yep. And these days, it's actually not as hard to find Whole30 compliant sausage. Before, when, Whole30 first started, and I remember doing my first Whole30, you had to make your own sausage because they didn't have sugar-free sausage or sausage that didn't have wine or something strained in it. Actually, those aren't strange things. They're just things that aren't allowed on the Whole30. But now you can totally buy sugar-free sausage, made from pasture-raised pork, or grass-fed beef. This sausage is actually a breakfast sausage from Bel Campo, which is a brand I love a lot because their meat is raised the right way, and this is a sugar-free, Whole30 friendly sausage, so you don't necessarily have to get an Italian sausage. And if you can't find compliant sausage, just use ground meat and then season it to taste. So I always season it with like some magic mushroom powder or some like salt and garlic and onion powder, just so it has, it's tasty and has flavor. Yeah?
So here's a few questions.
Yes?
Is this like similar or the same thing as shakshuka?
Yes, it's very similar to shakshuka. Every cuisine has, overlapping dishes, and I think because shakshuka is normally kind of like a Mediterranean dish. Italy is right there. And so I think there's a lot of shared dishes. Shakshuka, I don't know, normally has any meat in it. Even the eggs in Purgatorio, like the Italian version, they don't necessarily have meat in it. The one that I first tried, 20-something years ago when I went to a restaurant in New York, they had some pancetta in it. So in my mind, I just think it tastes better with some meat, but you don't have to have meat. But shakshuka is very similar. It is eggs poached in normally a spicy tomato sauce. So yeah, it's very similar. And so people have asked, so in this recipe, I put them in these little, these cute little cocottes or ramekins.
We have blue ones now.
We have blue ones because our orange ones all broke.
Oh.
But people were like, what if you don't have little ramekins? Can I not make this? And no, you can totally make this. So all you have to do is this is an oven-proof skillet. You can just bake it in this. It's just not as cute. That's why we did it in those little ramekins. But I have the instructions for how to do it if you don't have ramekins on the blog. So you don't have to worry. Yes?
Let's see. How long does magic mushroom powder last?
Oh, quite a bit. Quite a long time. I mean, I think at least 6 months, just in an airtight container. 6 months to a year.
All right. And do you use venison ever?
I don't, just because I don't have access to it. We don't have any hunters in our family that could give me game meat. But I know a lot of you guys are very lucky and have people in your family that can provide, game meat that they cut themselves. But I don't have access to that, so I don't have a lot of experience with it. I know it's a lot leaner, so you have to, cook with it a little bit differently. But I bet if you had some sort of ground venison or venison sausage, it would totally work in this dish. Okay, so as soon as the sausage is no longer pink. Okay, Ollie, you want to help pour this in? I have 2 cups of marinara sauce. This is just store-bought marinara. Of course, you can make your own. But there's lots of really great store-bought marinara. And so I buy it and I stock up on it when it's on sale. Some of my favorite brands are Rayo's. It's probably one of my favorites. But, there's also the organic marinara from Costco is really great. Thrive Market now has one. Primal Kitchen has some, and they all taste good, and they don't have any sugar or weird ingredients. I mean, I just think it tastes a lot better than, I know when I was growing up, all they had was Prego or Ragu, and they were terrible. And so it's just nice that these days there's, better tasting options and options that are made with whole food ingredients. So you just want to bring this up to a simmer, and then this is the part
Oh, great.
my mom is FaceTiming. Does she not know that we're doing Facebook Live?
I hope that didn't... Oh, my God. We're still going, right?
I hope so. Does it seem like we're still going?
Oh, we're still going. Okay,
Hey,
cool. It
right.
got weird and it did a pause thing.
Sorry.
Moms,
I know.
jeez.
So this is a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. Of course, if you don't like spicy, you don't have to put it in. If you like really spicy, you can add more. You can use hot Italian sausage as your sausage base. If you don't have any sausage, don't worry about it. But if you still want to bulk it up, if you have any leftover meat in the fridge, you can pop it in here. If you want to add more vegetables, you can, throw in some, greens or some leftover roasted vegetables that you cut up. I mean, it's super adaptable. It's a great recipe to kind of combat food waste. And so I like it a lot. So as soon as this kind of comes to a simmer, and also this can be used as a sauce for zoodles or gluten-free noodles or whatever. If you're not paleo and you eat regular noodles, this is a super fast way to doctor store-bought sauce and have it be really hearty and tasty. So I'm gonna give this a taste. I'm gonna turn this off. And so then and obviously if it needs anything after you taste it, you should season it.
Someone
Well,
named...
it's good. It has a good kick.
Oh, it's good. Can I try?
Yeah, and I'll have some too. Okay, so this is good because I'm going to have my children try it because this is a little spicy. I actually have one there that has no spice. Is it hot? It's a little bit spicy.
Oh, but temperature-wise.
Yeah, you got to blow on it.
What a fun spoon you have. Oh, wait, no one can see because of the camera.
Which one? Okay.
You have like a fun like dessert spoon
A
thing.
little baby spoon.
Yeah. All right. So, someone named Lexi says that she's currently fasting for a procedure,
Oh.
and this is like the best thing in the world to watch right now because it's keeping her love for food
Yeah.
alive.
Oh no, I hope it's not making it miserable for you that you cannot eat. Alright, so it's Norman.
Good luck on your procedure.
Yeah, so Ollie doesn't normally like spicy, but he says it's a tolerable amount of spice. So like 1 teaspoon of red pepper flakes is tolerable.
It's like
This
if you get sausage on pizza, it's about that level, so it's not very spicy.
Okay, so this normally makes like 4 of these, but let's say you don't have these. As I said before, all you do is you would make sure that you're cooking the sauce in an oven-proof skillet, and then you kind of make little. I mean, I guess in this case the sauce is not super thick, but you can just make 4 little divots, and then you crack in 4 eggs, and you pop this whole thing in the oven, and then you cook it until the whites are fully cooked and the yolk is the way you like it. Because some people like the yolks really runny, and some people don't. And if you make this ahead, some people are like, oh, can you make this ahead and add the egg later? Yeah, you can totally do that. You can just save a container of the sauce and then add a raw egg in the morning when you bake it. And if you do that, I would heat up the sauce before you add the egg, because if you have to wait for the sauce to heat up, it'll take longer to cook it in the morning. So I would heat up the sauce, really quickly. You can pop it in the microwave for like 40 seconds. Or you could heat it up. Like if you don't like using a microwave, you can just heat it up. And so, as you can see, there's plenty for 4, but I'm just baking off 2 because I have 2 that are already done. And then this sauce I will save, to make this later. And so for these, so for the raw eggs, just to make sure you don't get any shells in there, I always crack the egg.
Oh, this is what they tell you in home ec class.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always crack it in a separate container, just because then you can pour it. And then if it's like for a picture, this way you can make the yolk in the middle.
Let's see. Someone said that since, I think this was a while back, but I think they said that their daughter doesn't like eggs, so they put half an avocado in, and apparently that was pretty good.
Wow, that actually sounds really good. It sounds very tasty. And like there's plenty of protein already, so it's okay. Like Ollie doesn't like this kind of egg, and so he likes scrambled eggs. So we'll have the sauce with something else for you. And so I just sprinkle the top because the egg is unseasoned. So I like to add a little bit of magic mushroom powder on the top. Your oven is already preheated for 400, or your little toaster oven. But these would also work in an air fryer, because an air fryer is just a little oven with a fan. And so we're gonna pop this in.
No, we have to take that out first.
And I'll take this one out. And so this is the one I made earlier, or the 2 that I made earlier. And I do always like to put it on a rim baking sheet, that way you can transport it easily. Because like just doing individual ones is kind of not the smartest thing.
So everybody says that they love the ramekins. So where did you buy them, and what happened to all the orange ones? There's one back there.
There's one orange one. The orange one's broke.
Wait, no, there's that one too.
How did they
We have
break?
2
I think
left.
somebody asked that.
2 left.
How did they break?
Yeah.
When you have your children put away the dishes, sometimes accidents happen. They just happen. Things break. And these ones we've had for a long time. Like I think I bought these. There was like, this was available at Costco. You know how at Costco sometimes there's stuff that's available once and then it disappears? Well, they had these Le Creuset cocottes. But then when I reshot these, I just bought some new ones.
So now it's on the blog. It is orange, or sorry, blue instead of orange.
Yeah. All right. So this, you can see. I don't know if you guys can see. Here, hold on. Oh, they're probably not super hot. Oh, yes, they are. Okay, so you can see here, like the sauce kind of bubbled up on the side. The whites are fully cooked. The yolk, the way I like it, I want the yolk to be.
See this? We left it in the.
We left it in there too long, but that's okay. Like eggs are however they are, but this is like.
I mean, if you like that kind of.
Yeah, so I say 10 to 15
This
minutes.
is that's not how I like eggs.
I know. This one is more cooked. but that's okay. That's what happens when you leave stuff in the oven. I mean, these ones, if you do it for 10 to 15 minutes.
Listen, don't leave the...
Yeah.
Don't leave stuff in the
Don't
oven
leave
for
the
like 20
eggs
minutes.
in it.
That's really good. If you want it to be fancy, you can sprinkle Italian parsley on top, because that's dinner. So people are like, how would you serve this? And you just serve this with a green salad. You could roast some vegetables, but there you have it. This is eggs in purgatory. Super fast, super easy. Any other questions?
Yes, we have quite a few.
Oh, okay.
So, someone said that their nutritionist recommended paleo. So, where should you start with that? Like, what are some, I guess, like good starter recipes or stuff like that?
I think, yeah, crackling chicken. Look up crackling chicken. There's an air fryer version and a stovetop version. Super simple. It is just frying up chicken thighs with the skin on, bone out, and it'll be super delicious, and you won't miss fried chicken. But basically, I don't think you should complicate it. It's just eating, whole real foods, eating a ton of vegetables, some healthy protein, and some healthy fats, and you'll be fine. You can always start by doing like a Whole30, because there are some guidelines as to like what is okay and what isn't. But or you can just go to nomnompaleo.com. I have a Paleo 101 that kind of tells you what paleo is, and then you can just pick and choose some recipes that you can cook from there.
All right. Let's see. Do you garnish this when it's done?
You can. You can put some. You can put some minced Italian parsley, like I do in the photos. But if it's just us eating, I would just eat it.
Let's see. Do you use coconut oil for this? Like, could you use it?
You can use coconut oil. I would probably use the refined coconut oil so it doesn't have a strong coconut taste. I think when paleo first started, that was one of the only available kind of paleo-friendly cooking fats. But these days, there's avocado oil. I like the algae oil. I think olive oil is fine to cook with. So there's lots of oils. And ghee. I like to cook with ghee.
All right, and the final question. What about the sauces at Whole Foods? What's happening with that?
I don't know. So I think it was a one-time thing that came out in August, and you guys all came out and bought a ton of them, and they sold really well. But then there's been some changes at Whole Foods, and so I'm not sure they're coming back.
Oh.
But it's okay. All the recipes are on the blog. You can just make them yourself. I'm not saying they're never coming back, but we all tried, but it's out of our hands.
All right.
All right. I think that's it. All right. Have a nice Wednesday. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.